Hi, it's Pastor Al here. I'm back in my office again, not trying to trick you with some green screen. I do hope you'll take a look at my hat, though. It's baseball time again. Hey, you know that I have dogs, and I love my dogs, and I spend a lot of time with my dogs, and I talk about dogs. There's one thing that I've always kind of wished, and I wish that my dog could talk to me, or I wish I could know what he was saying or what he was thinking. And you know what I've discovered? A lot of people on the internet nowadays seem to think they know what their dog is saying or thinking. Let me show you just a real short little funny video. And if you're not a good reader yet, maybe have your parents help you read this.
Where? In the sink. But he's not a puppy anymore. Hammy, what are you doing? That's not the bathtub. You're too big for sink baths.
I know, Dad, but I fit.
You'll have so much room in there. Doubtful.
But I hate the tub.
And even if you've got some other kind of animals in your house, like maybe two foxes who are now meeting each other for the very first time, you think you know what they're thinking and saying to each other. Now, what I've realized is it's probably a good thing I don't know what my dog is saying or thinking, because I think what would happen was I'd spend my entire day with him sitting next to me going, hey, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. You know what? I could really use a snack. You know, someone could really help me out by rubbing my tummy here. And by the way, I'm hungry. And by the way, I could use some more food. And breakfast was good, but I wouldn't mind a second breakfast. I think I'd spend all day being told by him all sorts of stuff that I get tired of hearing. But it's funny how some people kind of think they know what their dog is saying or imagine they know. But we really don't know what our animals are trying to tell us. We kind of have some ideas, but we're not sure. I know some people who wonder what God is trying to tell them. I mean, you'll find some parts in your life where you sort of say, wow, I really wish God would just talk to me and tell me what to do or tell me what to think or tell me what to do in this situation. And one of the problems is that sometimes if we just kind of think about that too hard and imagine, well, then what we tend to do is to imagine that God would tell us exactly what we want to hear. That's what people do a lot. And I think when we listen to our dogs, or think we listen to our dogs, and decide we know what they're saying, we kind of just think that they're saying what we want them to say. Now, the good thing about God, at least, is we don't really have to wonder. I mean, God doesn't talk to us, for the most part, individually. But God has given us the Bible, which records how God has talked and interacted and taught people for 2,000 years of history. And we've studied it and learned it for 2,000 years after that. That's why we want to learn what's in the Bible. Because if we want God to speak to us, well, He's given us a book with all the ways He spoke to so many people and through them speaking to us. And if we decide, well, I want to hear God's voice, but I don't want to read what's in the Bible, we're making a huge mistake. I know when you're young, it's hard to really learn a lot of what's in the Bible, but you can start. There are young Bible books for kids. Your parents are probably reading you Bible stories. There's lots of ways to start to learn what God is saying to you. We don't ever have to guess what God is thinking, because God has told us what He's thinking. And I will say the most important thing that it tells us in the Bible is that God loves us and sent His Son Jesus Christ to live for us so that we might be able to live for God and live with Him forever. And that is pretty cool. So if you ever wonder what God is thinking, well, pick up the book. Kids, it's good to be able to spend a little time with you this Sunday. I will see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.